before. 1 second. I just need to shut this door. Right, I went portrait. Just 1 second. Evening. Oh, hey, Johnny. How's it going? Yeah, so this is the first time going live, guys. So I don't know what to expect. So I can't tell you guys what to expect either. Is the audio all right? Can you give me a thumbs up if the audio is okay? Excellent, excellent. Spot on. Yeah. So how is everyone? Crap weather. Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, we're just gonna wing it, guys. Choo. Yeah, we're just gonna wing it. I'll let you guys dictate the conversation. Well, I'm trying to keep my irons in all the fires. Choo, my friend. Other people are doing it, so I figured, why not? Do you think this portrait setup is best? Are most of you guys viewing this on a mobile device? That's fine. Thank you very much. Because I was deliberating whether to go landscape or portrait, but I looked at my analytics and most people were viewing on mobile devices, so I figured that this would be the best. Mark, legend, how you doing, mate? Excellent. I'll keep it this way then. I'm sure that. Cheers, Mark. I'm sure that people will let me know if they'd rather see it landscape ways. This is better for viewing live, obviously, if you guys are on a mobile device. But if we're viewing later on TV, then this might not work. But we'll see how it goes. This is just a case of suck it and see. Very experimental at the moment. We're just testing this to see how it goes. See if it goes down well. So let's go back. I think Johnny just asked a question. What is your favourite frag of this year so far? Lewis, ahoy to you. My favourite frag of this year so far. Do you know what? It's been a really disappointing year for releases. Getting jealous. You wouldn't be jealous if you had my dilemma of trying to choose what to wear. FOMO Fragheads Asylum. Yeah. How are you finding that, Adam? I will go back to your question, Johnny. I'll think about that. Because it has been a really disappointing year for releases, I've got to say. Yeah. It's been really, really poor. I mean, one of the best ones, I can't even remember if it was this year, guys. Yeah, but Afghan Supremacy, not only intense, collector's edition. I think that was this year, wasn't it? I think it was. I mean, what are we in now? June. Yeah, surely I reviewed that less than 6 months ago. Like, that was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I can't remember if I've been as excited about anything. Um, did I? Don't know if anyone's asked this. Has fragrance reviewing met your expectations? I think probably I didn't really have that many expectations, to be fair. Um, I actually thought that it was gonna flop, so it probably surpassed my expectations. Um, and I wasn't really doing it to reach a certain milestone or achieve a goal or anything like that. So yeah, it probably surpassed my expectations. I just wanted to put this stupid collection of mine to another use. Um, hey, thanks very much, man. Yeah, I would say it's surpassed my expectations. I wouldn't say that I lacked confidence or anything. Like, I'm not an expert by any stretch, but I'm a bit of a geek and a nerd, and I throw myself into whatever hobby I'm doing full throttle. So I'd like to think that I know a little bit more than your average bear, but like I say, I'm not an expert, and all I'm doing is expressing my honest opinions and sharing my thoughts and my experiences. So I suppose, in that respect, it was never really gonna fail. Like I wasn't gonna fail on my promise of what I was delivering. It was just whether or not it was going to be well received. So yeah, that's the long way around that answer. um, the last fragrance that you had to scrub off that definitely wasn't for you, right? I don't know if you've caught my latest review, Mark, but I actually reviewed. I still haven't got Sombra, by the way. If you know anybody who's got a decant of Sombra, then let me know. Yeah, Silence the Sea, Adam. Yeah, absolutely was. If you haven't seen my latest review, Mark, check it out. I spent 20 quid on 2 mil of Strange Love Silence the Sea, and it was, in some ways, it was worse than Secretions Magnifique, but in other ways, it wasn't. I think I've already been desensitized to those particular, levels of challenging smells thanks to Secretions. But yeah, I think I summarized it as um, a dog rolling around in a rock pool that had dead sea creatures in it, and then on its way home rolled around in some shit that was in. Oh, am I allowed to swear? Um, rolled around in some poo that was that was in a meadow of flowers. We should smell the Secretions. One sounded horrendous. Johnny, I'm sure. Hey, how's it going, Chad? Yeah, I am 100% Belland. As are you, dude. Thanks for tuning in. Everybody who's in the chat right now, if you aren't already subscribed to A Gentleman's Journey here, my friend, my Canadian friend from across the pond, please check his channel out because he's an absolute legend and a bellend at the same time. But yeah, I consider him a friend at this point. I won't stroke his ego too much because he won't be able to leave the house because his head will swell. He'll have to grease the doorways. But yeah, he is an absolute legend. And Johnny, yeah, you've probably smelled Secretions before, but in your throes of passion. My scent of the air would be La Belle Nuit from Arlington Hughes. Never tried it. Never tried it. Phenomenal. Slightly feminine, but sweet, fruity greatness. Okay. 1015 by room 1015. Was a scrubber. Just smelled like cheap rubber. Well, I wish that that was the level of awfulness that I subjected myself to from the from the Strange Love perfume. Cheap rubber, I wouldn't want to smell like it, but still not as bad as rotting whale carcass. Just popping in real quick on what I should do. Yeah. No, I appreciate you popping in, Chad. I know you're a busy man. You've got a lot on at the moment. But yeah, I really do appreciate you popping in. And like I said, guys, check Chad's channel out. Throw him a sub, and you won't be disappointed. I'm still trying to think of my favourite fragrance release of the year. Because it's difficult to remember what is this year and what was the end of last. You know, I mean, if I'm talking about recent, because I'm not, my brain isn't actually synced up to the calendar that well. If I'm talking about recent releases, Boss Bottled Absolute is absolutely class. Absolutely class. Love it. Niche sensibilities in a designer bottle for a designer price. What's not to like about that? You know, um, nothing much has wowed me since. Not to that level anyway. Um, there has been some. There has been some. You know, but not like that. Not that memorable. And when you've got a collection like this, it needs to be memorable to stick out, I guess. So yeah. um, let's see if I've missed anything else. Oh, Novice Knows. Hey, what's going on, lad? Just popping through to show some love. Hey, thanks very much, my guy. I appreciate that. How are you doing? What's your scent of the day, Mr. Novice Knows? Society Ombre was good. Yes, was good. I wouldn't say to the level of, I don't appreciate it to the same level as Boss Bottled Absolute. But yeah, I did like it. At that point in which I reviewed it, which I think was maybe around about March time, February, March was it? It was released. Might have been February. Difficult to think, but at that point, it was the best designer release of the year for me. Yeah. Oh, Cool Water Elixir or Cool Elixir. Yeah, really like that. Code Elixir. I'm remembering them now. I think probably Code and Cool Elixir are my most recent likes, strong likes. I wouldn't say the loves. Yeah, I wore Code Elixir a little bit recently. In fact, I've still got a little bit of it left somewhere. Is that it? No, it's not. That's Explorer Extreme, and it belongs in the bin. Yeah, because the performance is absolutely woeful. Stuart McIntyre, new subscriber and really enjoying going through your vids. Thanks very much, Stuart. Sent of the day, PDM Leighton. Much love from north of the border. Hey, how we doing, my Scottish friend? I've had a chance of follow-up testing the longevity of the Boss. Yes, I have. And I, on the second wearing, I give myself 20 sprays. 20 sprays on clothes as well. So I basically just surrounded myself in it and put some on clothes, and I managed to get about 5.5 hours of noticeable wear. But for an EDP formulation, you shouldn't need 20 sprays to get still less than average for that particular scent profile, less than average performance. I only hope it goes up after some time in the bottle and some air's got to it. You know, the maceration thing, designer brands, you never used to have to worry about that. But I'm hearing more and more reports, and I've experienced it myself, that certain designer brands at the moment are improving. After initial spray, left alone, you go back to them, they've actually improved. So I'm hoping that that's going to be the case with this. I've got it just here. yeah, with this one, Boss Bottle Beyond, because I actually really enjoy the smell. Really nice. See if I go back over. Question for the chat and you. I want to see if I've just missed anything else. No. Question for the chat and you. From a male's perspective, women call it perfume, but you call it perfume, cologne, fragrance, aftershave. I always used to call it aftershave, and I think that was just a product of my upbringing because my dad did. I mostly call it fragrance now, but even I've actually started referring to it as perfume as well because it's the art of perfumery, and we have perfumers and perfumiers, you know. So I guess yeah, I do refer to it as perfume when speaking about it, sort of, you know, as a narrative. But when I'm referring to something I spray on, I usually call it fragrance now, or a frag, you know. Teddy Mays, Ogivray, got to wear something to beat the heat here in Atlanta. Ogivray's class. Absolutely class, though. Yeah, I really do enjoy Ogivray. It was on my summer list, and it probably always will be. It's a banger. Absolute banger. So not good at all, really. My Pride of Ocean lasts ages, and Society Extreme, love them both. Great recommendation. Thank you very much, Johnny. Yes, there were two sort of easy reaches that I knew that you would at least appreciate. I was hoping that you would love them as much as you do, and I was happy to assist in. I think it were their birthday presents or Christmas presents. No Christmas presents weren't there. I was happy to assist in those. So yeah, I'll always try my best to give Rachel some recommendations for you. Yeah, Christmas. I thought so. Yeah. Adam, I call it perfume. I think people use aftershave because it sounds more masculine. Absolutely. Yeah, it does. And I think that's, you know, especially, I don't know about exactly where you guys are in the country or the world, but I would say that here, you know, in Cumbria or, you know, in the far north of the country, that out, especially my generation, the parents, the father at least, would have called it aftershave, almost certainly. A bit of splash on. Axel Viper, hello there. How we doing? Yeah, if you don't mind liking up the live stream, guys, just double tap the screen and give us a thumbs up. We've got 12 in at the moment. That's excellent. And if we get some more likes, that'd be spot on. I haven't tried Bizan or 2010. I actually, shamefully, I cancelled my order of Bizan because I wasn't aware that it was a feminine fragrance. I as soon as it got released, or released on a pre-order, I contacted George and I was like, I want this, and I put the order in on the website, and then I started reading the comments in the Zaharoff group, and I was like, oh, I've made a mistake here. So I had to cancel it. George was absolutely fine about it, as you can imagine, because he's an absolute gent. He laughed about it, and yeah, because I think he's aware of my taste and stuff. He probably was shocked that I put the order in, or maybe he assumed it was for my missus. But yeah, Lewis, I haven't smelled Bizan, but I really do want to smell 2010. And his new one, that Seraphim Musk, that looks a banger, doesn't it? Oh, cheers, Lewis. Thanks very much, man. So, how is Bizan? Is it femme? Like, did you get both? And is it as femme as I thought, going off like what I read? Most people in the hobby. Yeah, I know. And like I say, I do use perfume when speaking about it, like, yeah, as a reference. But when I'm speaking to someone about what I've sprayed on myself, I usually say fragrance. Get your nose on Dorsey Flower Lust if you can. Dominic Ropey on there. Smells incredible. Hey, do you know what? I haven't even heard of that. Dorsey Flower Lust. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. It is femme, but not massively so. Like sweet, fruity. What are the florals that are used in it, Louis? Is it Is it like, because I'm sure I've seen jasmine, and although I've probably got a few fragrances in there that have jasmine but dosed just right, I was assuming, looking at the composition, that it was going to be jasmine heavy. And when something's jasmine heavy, it's a bit screechy for me. Not screechy, that's unfair to George and to Claude, but a bit sort of overbearing in white floral. You know what I mean? When it's too dosed too high. Clementine by European's own brand. I really want to try. So is that Dominic Robian's own brand, that Dossier then? Show my ignorance here and not knowing about this. But yeah, master perfumer. Yeah, full of accolades. Yeah, I'll have to get my nose on that. But yeah, speaking again about, I've actually got a screen down here. I thought I'd be able to like track the comments, but there's like, I've only just pointed now, so there's like an 8-second delay or something like that. So that's not like realistic, is it? If you could get your hands on any bottle of discontinued fragrance for free that you cannot sell, I mean, but for personal, oh, that's an excellent question, Mark. Excellent question. Uh, um, so it would have to be almost impossible to find, wouldn't it? Because at the end of the day, those of us that do love our fragrances, usually, if there is a discontinued thing out there that we love, we'll find it and we'll buy it. So for me, what would it be? I think it would be first formulation Lamal, like, the 1998 release or whatever it was. Was it 98? That had been stored in a way that it smelled just like it did when it first came out. Um, because you don't see them anywhere. They've all been used up. Florals, Irish freezer, I'd say the fruits are all right. Okay, not really anything compared to. Birth of Venus is a stretch. All right, okay. Well, Birth of Venus is nice. It isn't for me, but I'll certainly try it out, mate. But if you're going to send me anything, just especially of the Vizan, just a couple of sprays, and I'd really greatly appreciate that. We can do a decant swap. Right, okay. Oh, Joel's Matrix. How are we doing? Scent of the day. Parfums to Nikolai Low Matt or Low Mict. Oh, I don't know how you pronounce that actually. And good to see you. Very good to see you. Everybody, Joel in the chat here is a bit of a, should we say, fragrance channel admin extraordinaire. Right. His own brand. Right. Okay. Thanks for that, Axel. Classic. I had a bottle when it was first released, and it was fab. Wish I had a bottle of Lamal from back then. Now, yeah, I know. It's just not the same thing. Kajal Colada, it's on my list for sure. I haven't. I've yet to try. Is it Lamar Noir? The darker version of Lamar. I've yet to try that. I do love Icon though. Icon's beautiful. I really do like that one. Yeah, yeah, absolutely right, Adam. It is a shadow of its former glory. It's undeniably the same scent profile, but it just isn't as. I don't think it smells as good. I don't think it smells as strong. It's not as present. It's a bit more fleeting. It's not a weak fragrance, but it just isn't the same thing. Yeah, Phil, I haven't tried Prada Infusion Lom at all. The missus got the Prada Infusion Iris, which she enjoys. You know, she often layers it with other things. Excuse me, a little bit of indigestion. I actually had to rush my tea because one thing led to another, and it was like 20 to 9 when I was just getting it out of the oven. So I rushed to get up here to see you guys. I didn't want to keep you guys waiting around. Yeah, I didn't experience anything from Tom Ford um, in the early days. No, I didn't either. I wasn't a fragrance fanatic back then. You know, I just liked to smell good, and I had like 4 or 5 bottles back then. But yeah, uh, by the way, guys, if you do like Tom Ford's earlier stuff, and in particular stuff that you can't get anymore, I've got to I've got to put you guys onto this. By the way, everything that ain't everything, I've got to draw down here as well. Oh, there's something else I want to speak about. Where's it at? A lot of you will probably already know about this, but just in case you don't, if you like Plum Japonais, then get yourself to Insider Parfums and get Plum Harajuku. I think it's Harajuku or Harajuku. Do you know what? I haven't sprayed anything since I got out of the shower. Not really appropriate for this time of year, but it is night time, so yes, I do spray the top of my head. This is amazing, and the longer it's on your skin, the more like sweeter and deeper and richer it becomes. I mean, it's nice at the beginning, but oh, it's really, really nice, guys. All of Insider's stuff are like I say all, but the genuine the general retail price I think is 80 quid for 50 ml, but for what you're getting, because they resurrect long gone discontinued fragrances and they do inspirations of like really, really expensive niche stuff, and it all lasts a long time. Great performance on everything that I've tried. This and everything else, 80 quid, 50 ml. I think it's an absolute bargain, to be honest. And something else that I want to speak about at the other end of the scale is this denim original. 6 quid, 6 quid on Amazon, and you know what? For a leather sheeper, it's a splash on as well. By the way, oh, it smells great. Really, really old school, like masculine sort of fougere, isn't it? Like sort of, but it's a sheeper. It's a leather sheeper. Absolutely fantastic. Amaroud Oud After Dark. I've got it. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, got it here. There is similarities. You're right. There is similarities, but the oud in this, it's so nice. I would say that this is those of you who haven't experienced oud would say that this is funky. It's probably the start of funkiness within oud on oud and oud accords. I wouldn't say it's fecal, but there is something funky about it, and like a tropical fruit as well. But yeah, definitely some similarities to the Tom Ford Plum Japonais, without a doubt. Is Reflection 45 any good? The price isn't, but tends to rate high. So if you're comparing it to the original, I've got something else here that you could compare it to as well. Gucci Guilty Elixir. If sorry guys, I will scroll back up through your comments and I will reply to things I've missed. There is some strong similarities, but this is probably closer to Reflection Man, not Reflection 45. If so, in regards to this, if you like your fragrances to project and be quite loud in in terms of your scent bubble, then this might let you down, because with it being 45% oil, it's heavy. It's heavy, so you'll leave a good scent trail. Your sillage is good, but standing projection, not so much. Longevity is great, and it smells fantastic. If you've smelled Original Reflection, this is like Original Reflection, but whereas Reflection's considered to be the most wearable thing from Amouage because it lacks a lot of the typical Middle Eastern spiciness and the sort of smoky, incensey sort of facets, then this has them returning. There's a lot more notes listed as well, and you've got like frankincense and stuff like that. So it's a bit more Amouage than the Original Reflection, but if you're happy enough with Reflection, then maybe this is just a stretch redundant and for too much money. I got this in a trade. In fact, it actually only arrived today, just a partial. But All Beauty, when they've got codes on, they had a code on recently, and you could pick one up with the 20% off code, and it was just over 200 quid. And for that money, I think it's worth it. I really do. Right, I'll just scroll back up. Sorry if I've missed many, but I will try. Have you got any? All right, I'll go back to the Original Cool Water. Yeah, good shout. Acqua di Gio Senza. Yeah, I've got that one. Never want to be without it. Yeah, it's probably the most Acqua di Gio. I think anyway. A lot of people say it's the closest thing to the very, very, very first formulation, which I can't comment on because either I haven't smelled it or it's been that long. But yeah, I like a Senza. Old diesel masculine. You can't go wrong with that, eh? Schoolboy Frag. You're absolutely right. Yeah, 0+. I rarely buy clones anymore, but I bought yesterday Afghan Tarath Electric. But banger, yeah. A banger of a fragrance, in my opinion, no one talks about. Let's get blown away by it. Yeah, I've not tried that. And you're right, no one talks about it because I don't ever remember hearing about it. The Tarathi Electric, that's the Blue Talisman clone, isn't it? Yeah, I haven't tried it yet. Have you got any other insiders? I do, Lewis. I have Madagascar, which is the inspo of Henri Jacques Blue Vanille, and it's fantastic. I haven't smelt the Henri Jacques, but that's because I haven't got over £1,000 to spend on a bottle of perfume. And I have one of their original creations as well. If I can find it. That's the Madagascar. Oh, here it is. The Dubai Majesty. Now, Dubai Majesty is very good. Very, very good. This smells a bit amouage actually. Oh, it's lovely. There's some rose in there, but it's like a jammy rose with some spices, resins, some amber, a little bit of oud, but sort of like, it's not a funky oud, it's more of like a smoky dark wood, maybe leaning slightly medicinal, but fantastic, honestly. I'll tell you what I'll do, Lewis, if you're sending me the samples of the Zaharoff, I'll return the favour and I'll send you samples of those three. I only just started getting properly interested in fragrances this year. I've discovered all these new and exotic brands since March. Quite the bloody rabbit hole too. You're absolutely right, Phil. You are absolutely right, and it is all consuming. Try and keep 2 feet on the ground, sample wherever you can, and as soon as you get something, like this is speaking from, like, learn from my mistakes. As soon as you get something that is even remotely redundant to something that you've already got, evaluate, choose your favorite and move the other on, honestly, because if you're anything like me and you're going to end up with a big collection, then you need to try and have it as unique as possible, and by that I mean each fragrance as unique as it can be from the one before it, you know what I mean? Perfume parlor have water spirit too, which is all right. Acquisition sensor, all right, that's interesting to know, thank you. Love plum Japanese, not tried the insider take on it. All right, Mark, let me know and I'll shoot you a couple of mil over. I owe you a favour anyway, because last time I asked to try one thing and you sent me an absolute shed load of stuff. So I owe you a favour. Never tried plum Japanese. Yes, it is. I've got I've got Oud Noir as well, and yes, it is. I think the plum Japanese is plummier, though. I really do. The Aaron Tennant Hughes is not as juicy. It's more focused on the smoky oud. There is a sweetness to it, but I think it isn't anywhere near as like juicy plum as the Tom Ford. Yeah, Oud After Dark, Reflection 45. Mine would probably have to be an early bottle of an early bottle of M7. Yeah, see, I haven't tried the earlier stuff of M7. I haven't, but I've tried the different versions of M7 that you've sent me. Olympic City. Hey, Al, how we doing, mate? Thank you. Yeah, the Gucci is similar. Yeah. Do you plan on testing the new 1 million gold elixir at all? Just right. So I'll bring. Right. So from what I've heard, is it's just like the 1 million gold, but a little less weird. Some people said that the 1 million gold smelt a little bit of BO. I didn't get that. I swear I didn't get that. It's predominantly sandalwood, and if you're not familiar with sandalwood, then I'll bring a sandalwood heavy fragrance into test. My favorite sandalwood heavy fragrance is probably Zerzhov, Suspiro, Prestigio. That's probably my favorite. Some people say Le Labo Santal. Smells a bit pickly to me, that one. Hey, that I know that. I know that picture. Why does it say Crofton? You're not Crofton. You're. Who are you? Oh, it's John Flood, isn't he? Yeah. Sorry, mate. I wish you guys would have your names on your blooming YouTube. Like there's people that greet me and say and compliment me on my videos and that all the time, and they call me by my first name, and like I genuinely have no idea who you guys are. Some like a lot of you, yeah, I know John Flood, yeah, of course. Sorry, mate. But yeah, like you might think I'm being rude sometimes that I don't call you by your name, but it's because I can't sometimes add up to who's who. You know what I mean? Until you say who was it recently? Jack Day. Um, he'd been coming in and paying paying me respect and all this, that, and the other, and I had no idea he was Enter the Sandman. It was his old gamer tag. um, Looking to get into more Suspiria at some point, but vibrato. All right, yeah, vibrato is yeah, it is strong. It's nice though, isn't it? It is nice, very nice. I can't make my mind up between vibrato and basso actually. Yeah, there's lots, Mark. Lots and lots. Um, yeah, there are lots and lots. Dior Cologne. I wish that had better performance, but I think I mentioned it in my summer list that to make it have better performance, I think you would actually have to sacrifice certain aspects of his scent profile. I think it only smells the way that it does because of its composition. So I mean that's just my opinion, but yeah, I mean you can take an atomizer with you and reapply, can't you? Um, but the things that bug me, Mark, I don't know about you guys, but like it's when things have got weak performance and it's not logical, you know. Like we can and in answer to your question, Mark, I've moved most of them on, but I've still got like 3 Aqua de Parma left, and that is the I think that's the cornerstone of a house that gets a notoriously bad rep for having poor performance, but that is logical because they use a high amount of natural oils, and that usually in turn leads to inferior performance. Luis, even if it's not the Italian made version, you will not think that it's weak at all. I don't think mine's the Italian one. One second. Oh no, it is made in Italy. Yeah, it is. There was a discussion in one of the fragrance groups yesterday. It was a poll actually between Vibrato and Tiger, and Tiger won. It kind of hurt my feelings a bit. There's nothing wrong with it. I just think that vibrato is far better. It's more nuanced. That's I know, John, you don't like that velvet, do you? I bet you'd hate to see me scrape my teeth down it. Oh, last 10 mil here, Mark. Yeah, weak performance at a high price tag. Yeah, I can understand. I can understand why that's a gripe. Yeah, yeah, me too. I'm surprised Targar. Yeah, I know, I know. I'm pleased you guys are on my side. I bet you did, John. I bet you did. Yeah. Um, I would say that like don't get me wrong, Tiger smells fantastic, and it's probably the godfather of that particular scent profile, at least to my mind. I don't know if something came before it that was, had that specific blend of like grapefruit, musk, and woods, and all this and the other. that had that composition and felt that way when you sprayed it on. But I just think what Suspiro did was take it and run with it, and the additional florals, like, yeah, it might make it a little bit more unisex, but it's not feminine at all. In fact, I still think it leans masculine, but slightly more unisex, and it performs better. I think it smells higher quality. It, like I say, there's more to it. It just seems like a more rounded composition. But that's just my opinion. Furry bottle haters. Has your perception of fragrance changed from, say, your teens in the 80s? In the 80s, when I was a teen, I found Kuros very fresh and airy. Um, yes, my perception of fragrance has changed. It would be difficult to say if I still felt the same way about fragrances that I enjoyed as a teen, because to pick them up now, they will be reformulated anyway. But my perception of what I appreciate definitely has changed. I can't imagine me smelling things like Amouage roll tobacco when I was in my teens and wanting to wear it. Not a chance. The same can be said for quite a lot of stuff on this show. This Stefan Humbert Lucas here, 2022. That does not smell good, that. Oh, so good. Musky oud. But like totally wearable oud. Dark woods, rose. Really nice. I would never have worn that as a teen at all. Musk Ravager there, wouldn't have worn that either. There's lots up there that I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have even worn Naxos. Definitely wouldn't have worn that bad boy right there. I love that though. That's Sahara off leather tobacco. Yeah, yeah. My perception has definitely changed. Definitely. See, Fahrenheit, well, you can inject that shit into my veins. I hate all that stuff. Strangely, the apart from I don't like as much. All right, I'm the other way around, Axel. I'm the other way around. I prefer the parfum over the original. Yeah, everyone seems to love the parfum more, as more wearable. Yeah, it probably isn't as polarizing, and I guess if you love the original, you more than likely aren't gonna like the Le Parfum as much for that reason. Just for a comparison, I bought Calf about 28 quid. And it's still smell a few days later. I believe it's high oil content. Or high oil content. Yeah, yeah. So I haven't. I don't think I've tried Calf. There's no need for fairy bottles. I still like Dracar Noir now. When I smell it, I still like it now. My top 5. Oh, what? You can't do that to me. You can't. Like, my top 5 today would be different next week. It totally would, and it's because I love and appreciate fragrances, even ones that I'm not too keen on. I'll find plenty of positive things to say about them. But Bois Imperial has to be in there. It has to be in there. So I could, I could go on and probably name 15 or 20 of my ride or die fragrances, but to try and give you a top 5, yeah, it would be very difficult, very difficult. Um, it needs some thought, and I've tried. I've tried and better tried, and I always get down to like a 10, and then I try to nail down that 10, and I've even done it before. And then I've looked at stuff outside of the 10 and thought, how can I leave that out? How can I leave that out? How can I leave that out? So, yeah, even one for every month of the year would be almost impossible. But I'll give it some thought, and maybe I could start a series of, you know, what my current top 10 is, with the caveat that it's always going to change. So as soon as I think, actually, I'm not loving that as much as I used to, but I'm loving this one more, I would just update it. I know it's a cheaper frag now, but Izzy Miyake Blue Porrom is one of my favourite frags. That's good, but lasts longer. Yeah, there's quite a few things that are very similar, actually. And I've got one down there. It's at the bottom and it's right at the back. But if I remember right, I do think that Salvatore Ferragamo Aqua Essenziale Blue is quite similar. And anybody who knows that fragrance, please shout up in the chat now if you can think of a freshie with blue characteristics that has better bang for buck than that fragrance, because you can get a 100 ml bottle for just over 20 quid. It lasts a good amount of time and it smells of it. Well, you put it this way, if it was a proper designer fragrance and you'd spent 90 quid on it, you wouldn't be disappointed. I don't think, anyway. I think, bang for buck, it's class, absolutely class. Yeah, I haven't tried it. Do you know what? I think I've only tried two from Almagavri. I think I've only tried two. Oh shit! Just for you, John. When bottle arrives, I will take a Gillette to it. Maybe put some Veet on it, Lewis. Some fur removal cream. You're doing God's work, my man. Escape. Obsession. Yeah, Obsession I actually wore in Ibiza in warm weather. This is before I knew about warm and cold weather fragrances. Yeah, Obsession was my Ibiza 1998 fragrance of that holiday, of that entire holiday when I was 16. I was about to turn 17. Yeah, it still smells great. The Drakkar, yeah, it still smells great, but it doesn't last at all. Do you still love dupe? John, take that comment, roll it up into a ball, right? And shove it up your ass. Dupe? No, man. No, honestly, I'd rather smell of cigarettes and regret. Yeah, Escape is not like the 90s version. Like nothing is there, especially Calvin Klein stuff and that, man. Like you can guarantee that there's a fragrance out now that has been around for a long time that it doesn't smell anything like it used to. And we can we can blame IFRA all we want. Is it the International Fragrance Regulatory Authority or whatever it is? We can blame them all we want, but at the end of the day, the brands, the perfumers and brands are clever enough to be able to come up with something that's an equivalent replacement for a banned ingredient that doesn't alter the composition too much and that doesn't alter the performance too much. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? What they do is they release something, yeah, gains popularity, gains a fan base, sells loads of units, they water it down. People still buy it because they like it anyway. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't necessarily mean they water it down, like the oil concentration becomes less, but it does become weaker. And I think it's right. Okay, here's one for you guys, right? Name me a fragrance that's been out for a considerable amount of years that performance hasn't suffered. And by considerable amount of years, I mean at least 5 years, right? Something that's available now that was available at least 5 years ago and it still lasts and it still projects like it used to. Brian Imperial, I have the OG. Is it worth also getting the extra? Yes, it is. Absolutely is. And I'll tell you why. Because when you layer them, it is a magical experience. The extra is actually noticeably different as well from the OG. And yes, you know, 2 sprays of the extra on the back of my neck and then just wear the OG as I normally would. What an experience. Honestly, trust me, man. I have to try Brian Imperial again. Yeah, you're missing out, Adam. Yeah, Virtus. Yeah, is that on the team or they used to have one like it isn't on there anymore, and it was like it was a bottle, and within that bottle, you know, the actual capacity for juice was only about like I think it was 10 or 15 mil. It was oil, obviously, but it went for like 3.5 grand. Mason Margiela sailing day. Hey, Grim, what's good, brother? How's it going? Glad you could pop in, show some support. I'm just going back over the comments now. So I'm sorry if you've been here for a while. Just purchased Dolce & Gabbana Devotion. How did you find that, Brian? I've heard it's lemon and coffee, like a strange sounding combination. Can I wear Brian Imperial for the office? Absolutely. Absolutely, you can wear it for the office. Also suggest 2 to 3 frags for the office. Thanks in advance. I will. Aqua Essenziale blue is my favorite blue, hands down. Yep, told you guys. So 2 to 3 frags for the office. Right, Pradalon. Soapy, clean, iris. A little bit sweet. But you've got to like iris. But it isn't like a lipsticky kind of iris that you'd see in like Dior or anything like that. It's a fresh, and slightly classy smelling as well. Yeah. Also another office safe fragrance would be So if you're bored of Sauvage, another Prada Carbon, I would say, because that's sort of like Sauvage, but not as screechy and not as strong. Also, original Dizzy. It depends on your age as well, I guess. But this would be good if you're not. I don't know what. Oh, don't worry, guys. I'm just wrecking the spot. It was just the piece of wood that holds one of my lights in place down there. It's magnetic, so it fell off. This. If you're not a young buck, this is Lalique Linsamy, and it's a fougere sort of smell. That's beautiful. A lot of lavender in it, but it smells absolutely beautiful. Also, well, it's very budget dependent, you know, recommending stuff for the office. So we got Boy Imperial, and then Linsamy is a cheapie. Prada Lom, sort of in between, yeah. Yeah, I would say those 3. I mean, I could probably think of better ones if I have time to think, but yeah, Prada Lom, Lalique Linsamy, and Boy Imperial. Fragrance note is an instant no for you. Petitgrain, it's not an instant no, but Petitgrain, if it's dose too high, can be not keen. Allure on Sport Extreme, yeah. Yeah. It's nice. It's very nice. I know I would have sufficed. I thought about the Jupe. Loved Jupe back in the day. My mother can't stand it. I don't like it at all. At all. There's too many people wearing it, and it just smelled cheap, like cough syrup and nastiness. Robert Caddle, how's it going? Why is it by Frederick Marceau Audible? If you want a better smell, you need to try Gooch Badger. We're going to have to agree to disagree on that. Like, not the Gooch Badger. We all know that smells like absolutely fantastic. But we're going to have to agree to disagree about the moon. The moon smells amazing. Gooch Badger. Tommy was my 98 holiday scent. Yeah, and that was a banger as well. Oh, no way. A pissed up girlfriend lobbed it at my head. Oh, my God. Is your head all right? Or are you more concerned about the bottle? Greetings from the Netherlands, eh? Is that the perfume teacher? I'm intending to use Candy's Still a Beast. Is he? Well, yeah, I suppose it will be warning to Aaron. Nothing performs like it did when it was released. All designers seem to be watered down due to regulations or extra profit. Yep, absolutely. I can only think of dupe that still blooms. Will you guys stop mentioning dupe? Only Jordan Parfum didn't change its formula as far as I'm aware until they discontinued it. Yep. And we all know how I feel about that. My uncle got me dupe and Versace on for Christmas last year. I mean, I had to be gracious, but Christ's sake, man, I have preferences. No worries, brother. Got to try and show some love. Y'all make sure to like and subscribe to Frag Lad if you haven't already. Thanks very much, my brother. Thank you very much. All right. So if you don't mind, I'm going to start adding people as moderators that I know are going to be in and around regularly and will do good jobs. And people that have already said that they'll do it. Secretions would be if you want the office to yourself, absolutely. Your opinion on Missoni Wave. Missoni Wave is lovely, absolutely lovely. If you've got Versace Porom, you don't need it, and it's a similar sort of price now anyway. But it is slightly sweeter, and it probably does perform a little bit better than the Versace. But yeah, it's great. It's the next Aventus, John. Aventus wishes. Tom Ford, Bois Pacific, office friendly. Not tried it. Yep, not tried it. And I haven't, but I have had the chance to. Of course I have, but like there was just too many other things that sort of jumped the queue. Love Prada Lom. It's lovely, isn't it? Like it really is. Yeah. So it's been an hour, guys. For those of you that, and I know that maybe you'll want me to go on for longer, but it's 10 past 10 now, and I'm gonna have to go and do one. I do like Oud Wood. I really do like Oud Wood. The only problem with Oud Wood is this. The main carved oud smells almost identical, but performs better. I just like it more as well, and I don't know if that's because it's not Tom Ford. I mean, I haven't got anything against Tom Ford per se. I don't own one. I don't own a single one, but that's not because I've got anything against the brand. They've just never got round to getting any of them really. But yeah, I really do like Oud Wood, but that was a better buy. And if that didn't exist, I probably Tom Ford Oud Wood would have been my first Tom Ford. Yeah, it is weak, absolutely weak. Louis Vuitton, brother, come get some. Yeah, I haven't got any LV. Yeah, I haven't got any. Louis Vuitton, Louis Vuitton. The bottles in your collection that are for women, but you're happy to wear. Why are people, Jared? Why you keep saying Louis Vuitton? Yeah, love carve, dude. It is. Yeah, I'm really sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to let this one be over and done with. I'm gonna go back over the chat and appoint people as moderators. I've already appointed a couple there. Oh, Mark, I don't know that you'll do a good job. And I know Lewis would too. That'll probably do for now, guys. Oh, Robert, I don't know. I think he said he would be. Even if he didn't, Robert, yeah, I know. Yeah, I really enjoyed. Oh, killer! I'm really sorry, dude. I'm just about to go. I'm just about to go, man. I'm really sorry. Yeah, and it's good to see you here, coming and showing some support. Really do appreciate it. I wish you'd come sooner. We could have had a chat, but I've got to go. Yeah, I've been on since 9. Everybody, if you haven't, if you haven't, right, see this guy here at the bottom, Killer Frags, subscribe to his channel immediately, right? Immediately, and go back over his videos, because I guarantee you, you will have never laughed as much. You won't have laughed as much on fragrance related content as this guy's, honestly. And his editing's class. Like, he's great, absolutely fantastic, man. Like, get yourself onto Killer Frag's channel now, immediately. But I've got to go. I've got to go, guys. Thanks very much. I really do appreciate you tuning in. And I'll try and make this a weekly thing, but it can't be the same day every week because I work shifts. But I'll try and make this a weekly thing. It looks like it's been great. So thanks very much, guys. You know what to do. Keep smelling good. Stay safe. I'll see you again. How do you go?